Greetings from Podcastville. The Church of What's Happening Now is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. Listen, you know how challenging it is to hire somebody. It's hard to find qualified candidates. It takes too much time, too many applicants. ZipRecruiter makes it nice and easy. You work in the URL, and that's it. You go to ZipRecruiter.com/church. You understand me? ZipRecruiter sends you a job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards, but they don't stop there. Do me a favor. With results like that, it's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the highest rating hiring site in America. So right now, do me a favor. You're not doing nothing. You're looking for an applicant. Go to ZipRecruiter.com right now and /church, CHURCH, and find the applicant you've been looking for. Number 2, listen, all I know is one thing. I got a wife. I got a kid. I don't cook. But there's a lot of you people that cook at the house. If I was a single guy, if I had a girlfriend and she's busy, Blue Apron is the answer. Blue Apron. Lee, what do you think about Blue Apron?
I love it. I just got another box on Wednesday. They couldn't make it easier. Every recipe is delicious. It's always new. I love Blue Apron.
Do me a favor. Listen to me. It's nice. The ingredients are proportioned perfectly, and they're delivered right to your door. Blue Apron makes dinner quick, easy, and insanely tasty. Skip a meal planning and get straight to cooking with Blue Apron. So do me a favor. Check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free. You're like, Joey, what are you talking about? Listen, I'm going to give you your first 3 meals for free at blueapron.com/Joey. Again, that's blueapron.com/Joey. Kick this fucking mule, Lee. 5 fucking dirty guys from Boston doing heroin in a fucking house.
Yeah, filthy.
This is it. AJB
Filthy.
in the motherfucking house.
Filthy.
Before we even get started, I got to ask you a question.
What's wrong?
It's been daunting me I should ask you the last time.
What happened?
What is the difference between journalism and gossip?
Well, there's no difference per se, but journalism is the talent and the practice you need to apply when you're tracking down rumors that people tend to believe to be gossip. Let me put it this way. It's like saying, well, I don't want to get into analogies. You've got to be a good journalist to do the job of a good gossip columnist. Just like you've got to be a good journalist to do the job of a good crime reporter or, whatever the beat is. Most stories we latch onto today, whether it's something at the White House or something that's happening in showbiz, what have you, generally speaking, a lot of them begin in the gossip columns. A lot of them start as a rumor. And the gossip columnist is usually the first person on the front lines to track down those rumors. And when you track them down, if they kind of fall out of your jurisdiction, like if they're bigger than the gossip column, when I was at the Daily News, then they get pushed up to the front of the paper. And my byline wouldn't go on it because you'd give it to a reporter who covers page 2, 3, and 4. Like, those are different reporters. Those are bigger guys with bigger resumes. We may be just as good in terms of how we write, but they've got different jobs. They're city reporters. If there's a story breaking about the corruption in the government, local government, it wouldn't go in the gossip column. But I might hear that rumor, I might report it out, get the story right, and then give it to the guys up front, and it becomes a page 3 story, a page 2, which is the biggest story. So a good gossip columnist is the same thing as anybody. You've got to be a good journalist. It's very different now, though, because now there's very few people who are literally breaking stories. I still break stories every week in my podcast. But nowadays, there are so many outlets of things being written, so many websites, so many fucking... The internet is full of stories, and you don't know who broke this story, where it began, if it's being rewritten from a paper in fucking Canada. You don't know. We just read shit, and no one cares who wrote it. No one cares who's the reporter who broke it. But 20, 30 years ago, it was very important. Oh, this is so-and-so's story. It was broken in the Daily News. It was a big story.
Like page 6.
Yeah, page 6.
Who comes up with page 6? Like, page 6 is like Kanye West did fucking blow.
Yeah, Page 6.
Turner's fucking wedding.
Yeah, well, that Page 6 is the New York Post premier gossip
But it's
column.
real. Like, it's legit. It's not a fucking...
There's nothing fake about those columns.
No, they're all
nothing
real.
at all. No, because this is not the National Enquirer or Star Magazine. Star Magazine has absolute fake stories in it, mixed in with real stories. The Enquirer is the same thing. Although, I hate to shit on them because there are stories in the Enquirer that traditionally got things right forever. The Enquirer led the nation in the OJ coverage. It doesn't matter who's it doesn't matter what paper or what magazine. It matters what reporter works there. You know what I mean? Like when I was writing for Radar, okay, Radar might have a reputation for fucking just putting shit up there. But if it's a good reporter and you happen to have good contacts and you can get to the meat of things, then it doesn't matter who you write for. It matters who's writing the story. That's what's been lost lately. No one cares who's writing the story. They just stories appear everywhere. Twitter, fucking Instagram, Facebook. There's stories everywhere. And they're written by people. Look, I used to make a lot of money as a journalist, which is not something that generally happens, but I did. And then I made a lot of money as a magazine writer and 10 grand an article for this, 10 grand. Now, if I approach a magazine with an article idea, they might offer me $1,500 because there's so many fucking idiots who just want their name in print that magazines go, well, why pay him 10 grand when this guy will do it for fucking 1,000? It's all fucked up now. It's all.
But there's so much more outlets now.
Yeah, I know, that's the problem.
It's become less. It's like
it's like opening up more teams in the NFL. You get shitty talent.
Right.
Shitty talent.
That's what you get.
There used to be 20 gossip columnists. Now there are 20,000.
Like just to be a gossip columnist in L.A.
Well,
okay,
there never was one.
Like to go out at night, mingle, and fucking give yourself like a different name on a fucking page on the website.
That's a whole. No one's ever done that.
And
that's
go out and go. Last night I went to the Comedy Store, and the comedy was electric, but the underlying energy is fueled by drugs and whatever. It's so weird. Like. How to be a gossip columnist in New York.
Let me tell you, Joe. I don't want to sound like a dick here, but in the 90s, I was as powerful a name that if I called you, your fucking stomach was in knots because that meant tomorrow your name's going to be in the paper and 1 million people are going to read it. And it's very different than LA. LA never had a gossip column. They never did. They have TMZ now, which is all over TV, but they never had a reporter going around town getting shit because people in Hollywood you get enamored with Hollywood lifestyle, and you don't want to talk about those people or write about them.
Now, what is TMZ? TMZ is a gossip or
no? It's a
journalist. They tell you other shit.
Journalism is just it's all journalism. They're all practicing journalism. They're good reporters. They're good at getting to the root of things and breaking stories or covering stories that are happening now, whether it's celebrity deaths, celebrity overdose. Harvey Levin was brilliant with what he did with TMZ. He was brilliant. It started with a kid with a fucking camera outside of the courtroom. I think at the Menendez trial or OJ trial. It was a guy with a camera out there asking questions as people came in. He started to make friends with Shapiro. They started to recognize the guy with the camera. A little camera. And Harvey Levin saw that because Harvey was a reporter at the time. He saw the way these people were gravitating toward this guy with the camera and talking to it. And Harvey said, this is something. Because these people who have something really big going on are gravitating toward this nobody with a camera who's being nice to them. So from that moment at the OJ trial, I believe it was, Harvey invented this whole, I'll put a bunch of people around California at all the hot spots with cameras, and the stars will talk to us. Initially, they didn't like it. Initially, the stars hated it. And now they love it. Now when they see, TMZ cameras and TMZ people get preferential treatment. They want to be on TMZ with the new outfit, the new girlfriend, the new whatever the fuck it is. It's a whole different thing now. Now they use TMZ as an accessory to help them get bigger and more known. But it's all journalism. I'm not going to shit on the reporters there. They do their job. But Harvey's got things wired. He's got people in county clerk offices. He's got people in the court systems. The minute someone gets busted, the minute someone files for divorce, there's a phone call to TMZ, and they get it right away.
Well, to me, it sounds like, Joey, you're kind of asking maybe like it's a subject matter. So like if it's stuff about Kanye and Kim Kardashian, that's maybe more gossipy.
I just love the
But-
whole situation. That I'm a police sergeant in a big precinct in Manhattan.
Right.
And James Gandolfini, God rest his soul, gets pulled over with 20 G's, of 20 grams of blow, and my cop calls it in, blah, 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 and right away I pick up the phone and I give a scoop to somebody in an hour, a check's an envelope's gonna get dropped off at my thing, regardless of this. If it
Well,
gets
not
squashed.
in regular. We never paid any. Newspapers don't pay shit. The people who pay are the tabloids, the Inquirer, the Star,
No.
TMZ.
But a guy like you're a slick
never
little.
took it. There was no money involved.
You're a slick little motherfucker.
Yeah, but no money
It's like
ever.
remember when Gotti became friends with that one journalist guy,
John Miller.
the white dude that's still around. You know what I'm saying?
I was 10 steps behind him all those days.
It's crazy that when you become friends with a journalist like that,
Yeah.
it works for you in different ways. I could feed shit into that pipeline.
Yeah. Sure you
I
can.
could feed shit into that pipeline.
So why are they coming to you if you're not giving them money?
Why they what?
Why are they coming and giving you scoops?
Here's what you have to understand. People, look, how many secrets have you been told and you kept under your fucking jacket and never told anybody else? There's a saying, 3 can keep a secret if 2 are dead. People talk. People want to tell you what they know. They burst at the seams to tell you what they fucking know. We just spent 40 minutes talking about stories about this guy, this drug dealer, what I did with Winona Ryder, Sean Penn, Vince Vaughn, Al Pacino. We told stories for 40 minutes before the show started that are all secrets. And we couldn't wait to get it out of our fucking system. There's millions of people like that who have stories. So if you show up and you hang around, and you wait long enough and you get oiled up with them and sit in the booths with them and they like you, eventually you hear those secrets. Now, you don't want to shit the bed and run away right away and burn a friendship. You just take it in, you take it in, you take it in, and then you start to peel off the stories. Then you start to get to know the lay of the land. Oh, this guy knows these people. This guy's a good contact for that shit. So you put it in your fucking Rolodex in your head, and then as you go along, maybe don't print that story about Sean Penn doing blah, 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 but just keep it in your head. And then down the road, it's going to matter. It's going to lead to something. We talked about Goomba Johnny at Scores, right? I knew all the characters at every restaurant, every nightclub,
Now,
I knew them all.
What years was this going on at Scores?
Scores was 90.
Explain to people
90
what happened.
Scores was the strip club mecca in America. It was in Manhattan. But for a good, I'd say 10 years, it was just everybody who went to New York, who was anybody, went to Scores. The whole OJ trial went, every athlete went, and I mean, they fucked the girls. George Clooney would stay at a hotel, but he'd send fucking a car for the hottest 5, and they'd make sure the 5 hottest girls would get to George at the hotel. Everybody worked through Scores. It was unbelievable. It was like the Studio 54 of the 90s, right? So what happened with Scores was Scores happened to be both the Gambino and the Genovese family had their hands on Scores. They both took money out of that joint. Like what they call a friendly. Like they both took out of that joint. And there was a couple of tough Albanian kids who would call the Albanians don't give a fuck. The Italians, the mafia scare the Albanians because they don't give a shit. And the Albanians, a couple of brothers named Simon and Victor Dedaj, crazy motherfuckers, showed up at Scores one night, and they would say, guys, we got to close. And they'd say, no, don't close. We're here. They'd fucking shoot a gun in the ceiling. Crazy shit, cowboys. And, Scores at this point doesn't want any trouble because they got a lot of things they're doing that are fucking under the table and illegal. Like, don't shoot a gun in this fucking place. It's hot. Don't do that, And these cowboys are shooting shit, Anyhow, so one night there was an argument, believe it or not, over Hulk Hogan, over fucking wrestling. These guys are arguing with some other guys. It was about Hulk Hogan and World Wrestling Federation, and it got heated. These guys got mad. You gotta go. It's 10-5. Fuck you. I'm not leaving. Hulk Hogan, like kids. And one brother had a gun, one brother had a knife, and on the way out, 2 doormen were stabbed and shot, and the 2 brothers got away. So, big manhunt. I'm in the hospital for back surgery, and I get a call from the city desk. AJ, I'm just coming out of my fucking fog. I got the morphine in me. AJ, Rich Rosen, you know, I know you're at fucking New York Hospital. Look, there's 2 kids from Scores. Oh, no, 1 who doorman who got shot up last night. You know, do you know anything about who this might be? And in my stupor, I said, yeah, it's the Albanian brothers. I'll guarantee it. Who are they? I said their names. So now, I'm a gossip columnist, but I knew who the killers could be. The Daily News took that and ran. Of course, I was right. Now, one brother jumped in the Hudson River and swam to Jersey. Crazy fucking guy. He escaped. He was on the lam forever. They couldn't get him. The other brother they got right away. But they eventually caught the other guy. He's doing fucking life, the whole thing. I wrote an article in Playboy about this whole thing. And so about a year ago, and this is 1997, I believe. So a year ago, it's 20 years later. I'm on Instagram, and I see, and I get a message on Instagram from Simon Dedaj. Dedaj. I think it's Dedaj or Dedaj. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why does he want to talk to me? I was petrified. Like, this is a fucking murderer. Hey, I'd love you to talk to me. I really like to talk to you. And I said, my wife, I said, what? She goes, well, call him. I said, why? I don't want a murderer introduced. I got kids now. Who needs this shit? I called him. I just want to tell you, I read the Playboy article. You handled it like a man. You were really honest about this and that, but da-da-da. And he said, you know, we're innocent. Oh, yeah, of course they're going to say that. It's a whole weird thing. They claim it didn't happen the way it happened, but one brother is serving life, and a sister says that the brother who's serving life is innocent, and the brother who's free actually did it. And it's torn apart their family. So it's you know, these things happen when fucking brothers
But they
are
were
crazy.
shaking the girls down, too.
The girls, look, the shakedowns happen from the top right down. The guys who parked cars had to fucking cough money up. The guys who took coats coughed money up. The managers, the security guys, everybody coughed up to the top. Everybody.
God,
the girls,
fucking crazy.
Shakedown City. I mean, these girls would make, you know, if you were a Wall Street guy, you didn't pay cash, you put it on your card. It was funny money, right? So for every fucking $100 of cash, you'd spend $150 on your card. And every girl, you know, it was all the poor girls would work. You'd think they'd make $100, but they got to pay the fucking the house mom. They got to pay the security guy. They got to pay the guy who walked them to the car. They had it all wired. The mobsters had it all wired. I mean, they made the money the most. But John Gotti Jr. would walk in there and get a fucking envelope, and then the Genovese guy would do the same thing. And it was an earn for a long time. They were both earning. No one.
No, it's still it. It's still open,
No,
correct?
but it's not.
It's not.
No,
Scores,
it's over now. No, it's not the joint anymore. It's done.
I even watched a couple weeks ago. I got home. IFC had on Copland.
Oh,
And
Jesus.
the beginning of Copland.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They started scoring. Rappaport's walking out of Scores.
Let me tell you something, Joey. It was the you know, it was the preeminent place you had to be. It was the Studio 54 of the 90s. You had to go. I have so many stories. I don't know where to begin with Scores. I mean, put it this way. One night, this is a small story. One night, you know, a pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Doug Drabeck, walks in and he's fucking you know, athletes would come every night. So if they were playing the Mets or the Yankees, the staff at Scores would get them hammered because the next day is a game. And we'd bet the home team. So Drabeck comes in and he's pitching tomorrow. And he's pitching on a Sunday afternoon. It's a day game and it's Saturday night. So we're getting him, the word got out, get Drabeck fucked up. Who's got blow? Who's got this? What does he want? Everybody goes to see Drabeck. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, we had to lift him up and put him in the fucking town car. Lift him up. He's a fucking major league pitcher. We called everybody we knew, all the wise guys we knew, get on the Mets tomorrow. Hard, Drabeck can't walk. He's thrown up in the street. It's all fucking done. The Mets are going to cover. And we all went to bed. And the mobster guys got on this heavy. You sure? Yeah, heavy. And the next day I make up and I hear Doug Drabeck pitching a masterpiece, 8th inning. The Mets are fucking losing, 7-2. Like it didn't, you know. They're animals. They're animals. Charles Oakley for the Knicks would fucking be face down, sleeping on the carpet. during the playoffs against Indiana, against Reggie Miller, against fucking, against George, knocked out from too much fucking liquor and what have you. The next day they're playing a fucking game. Like,
Joe Namath.
Oh, well, those are the days. Joe Namath, Bachelors Fall, and all those clubs. Yeah.
Guy went and bought his own bar.
Yeah.
And Sinatra would go up there and shit.
I know.
That's how crazy that was.
My sister and husband and my brother-in-law were dating, and he said, "I want to take you to Joe Namath's bar." One of their first dates, they went to, I think it was called Bachelors Fall, and Namath was there. And my brother-in-law was a big athlete, and he moseys up to Namath, who's fucking the king, wearing whatever the fuck he's wearing. And my brother-in-law's talking. He says, "Hey Joe, dance with my girlfriend." And Namath danced with my sister, and for my brother-in-law, that was like the crowning, Namath dancing with my, Meanwhile, it was insane, that place. Everybody was getting fucking laid. Namath and Mickey Mantle were two of the same kind of guys. They would just stay out late, get fucked up. There's a lot of athletes who did that. Jason Giambi on the Yankees. One of them had scores one night. The World Series just ended with the Marlins beat the Yankees. That was a horrible showing for the Yankees. Terrible. And I'm wearing a Yankee cap. My nephew's there with a Yankee cap. And they said, "There's fucking Giambi." And his eyes are fucking, he's zooted. He's fucking out of his mind. And I go, "Look at Giambi. I should ask him where he got his fucking Coke. Look at him. He's out of his mind." So he goes in the restroom. I follow him. And he's fucking pissing. Like, "Hey, what's up, Jason? Hey, man, He has no idea that I used to write gossip. He doesn't know who I am. And I go, "Bro." And the game before, he didn't get up to bat. Like, we had Jason Giambi as a pinch hitter who was an animal, and he decided, "I don't want to bat." And the Yankee fans were like, "Why wouldn't Jason Giambi bat? What the fuck's wrong with him? He's a slugger." So I go, "Jason, what the fuck happened tonight where you didn't bat?" And he goes, "Dude, we were in fucking South Beach. We were fucking out of our minds. I couldn't stand up." And you go, "Oh my God, us fucking squares are sitting home watching the World Series. And these guys are going, I'm at fucking South Beach. I can't stand up. I'm not going to bat." Like, the Yankees Jason Giambi got too fucked up in the nightlife in South Beach. That's why he didn't bat. The newspapers won't tell you that. A good reporter, a good journalist will tell you that because he would have been there and seen it. That's what gossip columnists do. They would have been there at the nightclubs and said, "Is Giambi getting high?" "Yeah." I would have contacted all the coke dealers. Who's supplying Giambi? And I would have known ahead of time. Like when Dwight Gooden on the Mets missed the fucking World Series parade and he was sweating like a pig. At Newsday, back in the day, there was a guy that was calling in anonymous tips to the desk saying, Dwight Gooden's on cocaine. And this is like the 80s. People were like, "He's on cocaine? What do you mean?" It was like Dwight Gooden? He's an athlete. It was unheard of. And this guy was right. Gooden and Strawberry were out of their fucking minds. But
it's crazy, the people that will tell you things. Like, this is why life is fucking crazy. That's why I asked about gossip column. Especially in New York City. I don't know how it works.
It's only New York City.
In New York
Not
City,
LA. It's New York.
You can't do dick.
No, we know everything.
You can't. And I can't imagine now with cameras.
Could you imagine, Joe? Could you imagine?
I can't imagine now
I'd be
with
locked
cameras.
up.
So I know for a fact. Like, I I was a kid. I was 21 years old. I was working at the Sheridan Center. And, Van Halen was staying upstairs.
Oh, God.
Like, I
forget about it.
I just remember different. Now, that information could work in a ton of ways.
If you were a reporter.
No. For me, if I know you.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
You come in, you give me a package every time you come in. Who's staying here this week?
That's all.
You're not going to believe it.
Yeah, I know.
We had to send up 10 cases of fucking Jack Daniels up to Van
I know. And that's an item.
That's something weird. Or at the same time, whether it's hookers, because that hotel knows everything. Listen, this is the saddest thing about comedy. When I go to a town, and I go check into a hotel, by the second day, somebody at that hotel will tell me a story that I didn't ask them about.
Isn't that, see?
About a comic.
That's the secrets I'm telling you about.
Because every comic stays there.
Yeah, but people talk. People love to talk.
Whether he fucking...
He liked a whore.
Did so much coke that he wore out the table. Like...
We heard the chopping in the other room.
He was telling me that there was a comic that was supposed to leave on Sunday. And on Wednesday, he was still in the hotel room. It was a college town.
Yeah.
I got paid like $60,000 to do the shows over the weekend. And there was a college girl at a strip club that drove him crazy that was just feeding him pills. The club didn't even know that he was still in town. And then the hotel called the club on Thursday and said, "Can you guys come over here? We want to show you before we bill you. Look at the fucking table."
Oh my God!
From cracking coke on the table.
It was chopped up.
He chopped it up.
Unbelievable.
You know, so when little things like that
That's
get out,
great
these
stuff.
are little things in a hotel room. You know, you know, again, I work at the fucking, what's the best hotel in New York City?
Jesus, the Plaza Athénée,
Okay.
there's so many of them.
I'm a bellman at the Plaza
Yeah.
Athénée.
Oh yeah, they do
And
that.
I see fucking Sean Penn walk in.
Yeah.
And every 3 hours I see a different Asian woman walk upstairs
There you
and
go.
walk out.
There you go.
You're not going to believe who's here eating Chinese food like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what I do?
And that's how it starts.
You know what I do as a reporter? You know what I do? I had a guy. Now we didn't pay people. The newspapers just don't pay. That's a lie. We had no money to. They would never say, "Hey, I need $100 to pay the doorman." We don't do that. And very few stories came from doormen or hairdressers. But in the case where you meet a guy who works at a hotel in whatever capacity, you go, "Yeah, I'd really like to hear what you know. This is the fucking hot hotel. This is the Soho Grand, whatever it is. This is where everybody's going. Yeah, I'd like to hear your shit every week. What can I do for you? I'd like to see the fucking Knicks now and then." "Oh, no problem. I'll get Knicks tickets for you. No problem." So on my corporate card, I fucking bang out 2 games for the Knicks. He goes to see the Knicks in the nice section, and that guy's indebted. I mean, people will talk when you put $20 in their palm. Forget about a fucking seeing the Knicks play in the '90s. It was I had the shit to grease their wheels, and they would just talk. And I'll tell you. Speaking about chopping up at a hotel, I was in South Beach once when I was really on top of my game, and the E! Channel was running a show called The Gossip Show, where it was the precursor to TMZ. You probably never saw it. There was a bunch of journalists, and we talked to the camera and blah, blah, blah. And I'm in South Beach, you know, when it was just starting to get built up. I'm on fucking Washington Boulevard on one of those Art Deco spots, and all night I hear this. The credit card on the fucking table. I'm like, Jesus Christ, who the fuck is next to me? And like a day later, I'm waiting for this person to leave so I can look who's leaving, and it's fucking Kate Moss. And she is a famous cokehead. And I don't know, she must have recognized me because I was pretty visible back then. And I just said to her, you know, at some point today, I got to have some of the shit you're taking. And she laughed. And I think she knew what that meant. That meant that if you give me some of the shit you're taking, no one's going to know you're doing this in this hotel room. You know what I mean? We're fine, right? But I need some of that shit. And she gave me some of that shit. And I never wrote that story that Kate Moss was in the fucking Clevelander hotel chopping lines till 4 o'clock in the morning. I wouldn't do that to her. But it'd be nice to have a little fucking taste of your shit. Okay, my lady? And she gave me some, and I never wrote the story. So if you're out enough and you're around enough, you'll get to fucking play the game and extort people or get people in positions, compromising positions where they need to tell you things. I'm sure I can help you. You know, what can I do for you? It's just a line of shit. But at its core, you're a journalist and you're good at what you do, and you're gonna write a story. So what can we do before I go write this story?
Now, when you got a degree in journalism.
Sure, yeah.
Hold on, I get some water.
So
You got a degree in journalism.
Yeah.
And you believe in the whole system and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Why not just be a fucking sports writer?
I did. That's how I started.
Like, I would dream of being Oscar Madison.
Yeah,
like, just
I
covering the
understand.
fucking Lakers. That's it. And everything that is the Lake. I don't know nothing about the Lakers.
I understand.
But that's what I would do.
I
Like,
started
everything
as a-
Lakers.
I started as a-
arguments towards the Lakers.
that was
why
my-
they need to
okay.
fucking draft a guard.
You would fucking want to slice your vein within a year. Now,
Why?
Well, listen, the guys I came up with: Tom Verducci, Rich Cimini, Peter King, so many of the Wallace Matthews are still doing it. We all came up in the '80s. We all started as part-time employees at Newsday on Long Island, and all these guys. Tom Verducci calls the playoff games in fucking NBC. You know, he's a major fucking talent. Wallace Matt, all these guys I'm mentioning are huge. They stayed in the game. And God bless them. I was like, how many times can I hear an athlete go, I'm just going to take it one game at a time, man. You know, I'm going to fucking do my thing. You know, we got to get the hit and we count it. I can't keep hearing that shit. Yeah, it's fun to see some games. It's fun to see the best athletes run up and down the court. But when you go in the locker room and you fucking say, hey, man, talk about that play in the second quarter, it's the same shit. And I don't want to get on planes and go to fucking North Carolina and Indianapolis and fucking I don't want to do that.
But no,
I'd rather stay in New York and cover the fucking glitzy, glamorous shit.
I'm talking you. All right, we talking like Nick Turturro. Nick Turturro lives and dies by the Yankees.
I know. I see Nick all the time on Twitter.
On Periscope,
we talk all the time. Yeah.
Now,
I'm the same way.
Why he doesn't do an article like somebody like that? I'm not talking about fucking interviewing fucking people
I'm
every
talking
week.
as a beat reporter. Oh, as a beat
I would fucking die. Listen, journalism to me is also Mike Wallace. Like
Mike Wallace was
60 Minutes
great. He
is
was
journalism with no pad.
That's the best
that
journalism.
Would push buttons. I love all that camera
best
type
journalism. The best.
I like, in a way you could say that what goes on with Anthony Bourdain, God rest his soul.
He was a journalist. Absolutely. He's one of my heroes. These
are people who show you the world through their fucking eyes. People gain trust from you. If I tell you that this is happening, and a year from now it happens, now you'll like me more as a journalist. That's why I see, like, when somebody goes up to an athlete and he'll go, I'm not answering questions because you burnt me. You're a fucking asshole. You burnt me. Why would you burn me if you're trying to get your name up?
It's a delicate dance. You gotta, but you also got to be really honest about stories. If somebody dogs it and is being a jerk off or whatever, you've got to have the balls to write that story and show up in the locker room the next day and see him again. Like if you're an athlete, you're telling jokes at the fucking Laugh Factory or whatever. I'm a journalist, and I go, Joe, talk about that. The third joke in the first 4 minutes of your set, the joke about Chicha Bastich. Can you explain why that's important to you? If you hear that 20 fucking times a week,
I'll shoot myself.
Okay, now I got to do my job. I got to fill the column inches for the paper. I don't even want to ask you the question. I don't want to ask you. You don't want to answer it. That's sports writing. I don't want to ask you. You don't want to answer. Every 10 or 12 games, there's a great game where you go, this is amazing. You hit a home run that was 500 feet. You just passed a record that the manager. There's always something that makes you get happy again. You're in a playoff run.
But I would also redeem that athlete. If I burned an athlete because he wasn't doing the job on a Tuesday night, and then he came out of his coma on Sunday, and then Tuesday he did another, like Bernard King, the
turnaround baseline jumper.
Yeah, I just, here's another guy that was doing everything.
Bernard was an animal.
When I was a kid, I knew for a fact, they shipped him out to Golden State.
Right.
And then he became the comeback player of the year.
I know.
And then he went back to fucking the Knicks.
I know.
And he just leveled New York. He was the king of fucking New York.
Bernard King.
Somebody like that.
So great.
I always loved journalism. I just want to know the difference between, and I know how gossip starts.
There's no difference,
especially in New
everybody.
York.
Everybody understands the principles of journalism. Whether you're a court reporter or a street crime reporter or a gossip columnist or a music critic, you all know the principles of journalism. But don't ever think that the person who's working in the gossip column is not as good a reporter as the person who's covering stories for Washington in D.C. Bullshit. Because I'm fucking years removed from being in a newsroom, and I see what these assholes are doing at the White House and the fucking stories they're writing, and I want to scream. What they're doing is not journalism. For instance, Omarosa is so fucking popular now because she has these tapes and these things of Trump being a... Did he say nigga? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, he probably said nigga. We've all said nigga. We used to say, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a nigga by the toe. Does that mean I'm a racist? We played that game. It's horrible. We grew up in those times. I'm sure he said it once in a while. I'm sure. We also were in love with the same black girl. We also were in love with the same black girl's family. He proposed marriage to the same girl we both dated. There's nothing racist about him. If you're going to say that he said the nigger word, that makes him a racist? According to Don Lemon at CNN and other assholes, if you call a black guy stupid, you're racist. He called LeBron James stupid, he's racist. He calls every white guy asshole, sneaky, slimy, jerk off, shorty. Why, if you make fun of a black guy, you're racist? It's the same thing. Toughen up. Stop being such pussies, Don Lemon.
Do you remember when you had a bottle rocket?
I hate that.
You remember when you had a bottle rocket?
Yeah.
if you took the stick
the
off
stick
the bottle
off it.
rocket, it became a nigger chaser.
Yeah, nigga, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Unbelievable that even Chinese people, when you would
They
go
would
to
say it.
Chinatown,
You want nigga chaser?
you want nigga? No, you have fun. You have fun with bottle rocket. You break the bottle rocket, you light it, they become nigga chaser, and you're sitting there going, "Oh my God!"
Listen, I know.
1970s in full effect here.
You know exactly.
You didn't know that, did you,
No.
Lisa?
No, I think I'm pretty sure no one knew that. Who knew
No,
that?
no.
Nobody knows that.
You know why Mark Furman looks like an asshole for the OJ trial? Because he actually said with a straight face, "I've never used the N-word." And you're a cop in Los Angeles who's never said the N. Get the fuck. So in other words, you're not credible at all. Of course you've said that word. Cops especially say that word. White cops. Now, is Mark Furman a racist? I'd probably say he's closer to one, but I don't think Trump is. Not when you're in love with the chick who's part black. And no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. They got to stop believing Omarosa, who's a fucking dog and a piece of shit and a conniving, mean, filthy person who everybody laughed at in the media. Donald Trump's bringing Omarosa in the White House. What's wrong? She's worthless. And now they're looking at her as the biggest fucking story. Whatever you say, Omarosa, what else do you got? You got more tapes? It makes me sick.
Well, she got more tapes than Prince. She got more tapes than Prince in that fucking vault. That chick had a tape recorder, that little fucking monkey of hers.
You believe that,
No,
bitch?
but you know what? Everybody in that town has a tape recorder on. If you
Dude,
don't have a
she's
tape
what she
recorder
did.
on in that town, you're out of your mind.
Okay, good point. I tape people at the news.
Listen, let me
I
tell you
tape
something.
people.
I grew up in North Bergen, New Jersey, where the tape recorder was essential growing up. They tape everything. They
I know.
tape everything. I remember going to people's houses and they had the tape. Like when you went to a bookie joint, they had the phone with the plug into the fucking
Yes,
tape recorder.
right.
So I call you and press record.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Call you.
Yeah.
And there's a microphone on the thing. In the old days, from these phones here,
Right.
I would put when you called into a numbers bank,
Yeah.
when you called into a bookie,
Right.
you're getting taped. So
Oh,
if you
of
call
course
back
you
and
are.
say I had the
I
Jaguars
won the
minus
game.
the 10,
Bullshit.
hold on, I'll
Yeah.
go back to the
Oh,
tape
yeah.
and play it for you.
They always.
So whenever you call a bookie in the 70s, they always had a tape recorder.
Always,
on.
yep.
My mother had tons of tape recorders
Yeah.
at the numbers joints.
Yeah.
Same reason, because
Yep.
when they call in, so I have friends I grew up with, and everything was based on tapes in Hudson County. It's a corrupt town.
Yeah.
Everything is based on tapes. So, in the old days, now it's all completely different. Like I was writing a story in my book the other day about my first encounter in New York. My first encounter in New York was we lived on 89th and Riverside Drive. All right, my father had just died, and me and my mom lived there. And I didn't know my mom had the building wide.
Right.
Like she had the building wide. I don't know what that means at that age.
No idea.
So one day I'm a little kid and the phone rings at 6 a.m. and I'm awake watching Popeye or whatever the fuck
Right.
I'm doing. My mom's sleeping it off. She had the bar in Union City.
Oh yeah.
And the super goes, put your mom on the phone. And I wake my mom, Mommy, it's super. Sorry,
Sure.
Super.
Super. Yeah.
And he said something. My mom slammed the phone, ran up, slid open the fucking closet, took a bag out.
Really?
We used to have a balcony in the kitchen. And she slid the thing open and she dumped it in the balcony underneath. And 2 minutes later, you heard police open up.
Holy
and I was a
shit.
kid, dog. I was 5.
Wow.
And they sat us both on the couch and they separated us. But by that time, I had done PS 66 used to take you to the 2-5 precinct or something.
Oh, really?
And they would fingerprint you.
Oh, they just get
tell you laws
Oh, really?
and teach you how to shoot a gun.
Oh my
So
God.
then one day my mom came home and said, listen, this is what goes on in this house. This is cocaine. This is marijuana.
Holy shit.
You know those places you go to? They're numbered books. And my head almost exploded. And she's like, if anybody ever gives you this on the street, say no.
Wow.
But this is what we do in this house. But then she took out a little statue of the 3 monkeys.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know.
The hear no, see
Then
no.
here,
Right.
no,
Right.
and
Right.
this is what you live by. This is the rule. You don't know nothing.
I know.
So they busted into the house 2 weeks later. And then they separated us. My mom spoke great English.
Yeah.
But right away, Cuban people and Italian people,
Yeah.
they can speak great English.
Fine.
When the cops get there,
No.
no impuesto. No English. No English. And you become the interpreter by proxy.
Right.
And they're telling you, no, they are not.
Yeah.
They're telling them,
Right.
no, I don't know nothing.
It's
It's like the Spanish girl in Man on Fire when he goes
Yeah.
into the
Oh, I
disco.
love Man on Fire.
No sé.
No.
No sé. Es que no sé. No sé. Nobody knows nothing in Spanish.
I know. It's fantastic.
Team of
They know
shotgun in your
everything.
face.
They know everything.
They separated us.
Hey, guess what? They separated you like they do at the border.
Yeah, they
when your mom
separated
and
me
dad
and my
break the
mom.
fucking law, they separate the kid from the
No,
minor.
they put me in the bedroom, my
course.
mom in the kitchen. They asked me a bunch of questions. I played like the half retard, like Vito. When
Yeah,
he got
yeah,
off the
yeah.
boat.
Yeah,
Like, I didn't
yeah.
know nothing. They put us back in the couch and they left. And I never forget my mom. Like 20 minutes later, the super came up. He's like, "What? I'm so sorry." My mom gave him like a handful of
Of
money.
course.
And my mom, my mom told him, and then he goes, "Sorry," he goes, "They tapped your phone."
Oh.
Because in those days they would tap your phone in the
Right.
basement, and they had to put a tag on it. In those days to say your phone was tapped. Amazing. That's how you knew your phone was tapped. You went to your thing and you broke open the phone thing, and if you looked at the thing, a little tag.
Really?
Yeah, in the 70s and 60s, they had to tell you.
Oh,
There had
really?
to be a tag. Like, I got a letter still at the house, which I should be getting a lot more.
Oh, really?
I used to get a lot more of them. You know, if you call into a wiretap and they settle the case, after the case is settled, they have to send you paperwork that tells you on a wiretap.
Oh, yeah? Oh, I didn't know that.
So if the feds get you on a wiretap or like the state prosecutor's office, they have to let you know. I used to get those letters for years. In fact, I still got one at the house that somebody made me bring on the Rogan podcast.
Oh,
And I
that's
showed
fun.
Rogan.
That's funny.
And there was a Genovese guy that I still
Yeah.
talked to from a
Yeah,
kid.
yeah.
We're friends. And he called me to do a benefit for them. And like a week later, I spoke with someone. I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" And they're like, "Just to let you know, you on a wiretap."
The thing about when they get when my buddy Chico was when we were living together in the city and he was working at Scores and we had the it's like Donnie Brasco. That movie is so real because me as the journalist, the powerful journalist, they looked at me if you're Italian and you have a high profile job, the guys will find you because you can make money with you. They'll find you, and if you're like me, you'll figure out a way to make money with the guys. I did. I figured out a way that I can promote parties for them at their clubs and still write my column and say, "Great party at this club tonight," and they would give me $500 for the party. I still did that, which is not ethical, but I did it. And Chico's with me, and he's getting all sorts of trouble. And I go on back in the apartment one day in Madison Avenue, and there's Chico, and there's a couple of guys with windbreakers on, the fucking feds. And I see them, and Chick gives me a look like, "I'm sorry about this." And I said, "What the fuck is that?" "I'm sorry." And they go, "Hey," his name is Tim, his real name. "Hey, Tim, and these fucking feds, they only ask questions they know the answer to. They're not stupid. They don't fucking, "Tim, you know Joe Diaz?" "No, I don't know Joe Diaz." And they get the fucking book out, open the book, and there's a picture of you and Joe Diaz together.
Dinner, yeah.
Yeah. And he goes, "Yeah, I know him, but I don't know the guy. I never talked to him."
Coco.
Then they take, yeah, right.
His name is Coco.
Oh, no,
I don't know
right, no,
Joe
yeah,
Diaz.
yeah, no, I know
Stinky.
Coco.
That's what I would do.
But I don't talk to
I would
him.
always give him a nickname.
Then they go, "You don't talk to him?" Take out the recorder, they press play, and there's you and Chico talking like you're fucking friends for 100
I
years.
thought it was my cousin.
Yeah,
I
no.
didn't know I was fucked up on Ambien. I'm like that Roseanne Barr. I don't know nothing.
But this is me with a legitimate job, and I'm looking at him, and the feds are on him. They know everything. And eventually he had to leave, and I had to go down to the West Village. We had to separate. He had an organized crime file. It was insane. But they, when the feds come into your life, like a phone tap or whatever the fuck, it gets real creepy. And then on top of the feds, Chico had tough guys after him too. He had made guys after him. And there was a guy named Sal Scala. I don't know where he is or what fucking position he is now, but back in the day, he was a tough guy. He was a fucking shooter, killer. And the word was because Chico, somebody met a sort of feds come in my apartment that I vouched for Chico, so I was in trouble, and Chico was going to get hit because he was. And we knew Sal Scala was the guy that was going to do it. For about 6 months, we would always go into a restaurant or nightclub, and in the middle of having fun, we go, "Sal Scala says hello," and we fucking do the fake knife and I mean, but it's dangerous. But we started laughing about it. We take a butter knife to your neck. Sal Scala says hello, But I can't explain it. It was thrilling, but fucking scary.
What, to have somebody looking for you?
To know that someone's out there.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Chico he would go down to the Jersey Shore in the winter and live in a cabin with no electricity to be on the lam. I had to work at the news.
I loved it.
I know, you see?
For years, I loved hiding from people and fucking with people. And I would hide right in front of them, and they wouldn't
Hide
know.
in plain sight.
I would hide.
What do you
in
mean you
plain-
loved it?
It's a thrill, man.
From 80 to 95,
It's a thrill.
in my mind, I got off on somebody looking for me.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't like it when sometimes like I'm tired and I just let the mailman knock on my door and put the package down.
The mailman can't hurt you. The mailman can't hurt you. He's gonna give you a fucking catalog.
You putting bets in with people.
Oh yeah.
Not paying them, and then they're gonna send a guy to break your legs.
Yeah.
You know, I had.
You're like, yes.
When I went back to North Bergen in '84, I went on a tear of fronting and not paying, and then they would they would sell the paper to somebody else, which means I owe you $5,000.
Right.
Fucking, he hates me so much.
Yeah.
He's gonna give you the $5 so he can go after me. So he has an excuse to beat me up.
That's awesome. Wow.
Like I got to that point.
People would buy your debts?
Oh my
is
God,
brutal.
people were buying. I mean, it was crazy.
That is brutal.
I had the protection of a cop who loved me. So everybody knew if you touched that spick, you're going to have to deal with this guy eventually.
I had a cop
It
like
was
that.
so crazy.
Motherfucker
And then and then it's funny because this is a different situation that we'll finish this thing on the hunt.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who baptized me.
Yeah.
The guy who threw water in church with his wife at the time, and he was, to this day, it's a painful situation for me because I plain out fucked him.
Oh, it's
the
terrible.
guy that
baptized you fucked?
When I got older, when my father died, he would pick me up every Saturday.
That's hardcore.
Every Saturday, take me to 42nd Street, a movie theater.
Listen.
Get me high. No,
That's hardcore.
He wouldn't get me high.
No, the fact that the guy who threw water on you end up fucking, like...
Listen to me.
Oh, my
listen to
God.
me. But look, there's more to the story before.
Yeah.
This is like from a journalistic look.
Wow.
He was, for 4 or 5 years, every Saturday, he'd pick me up at 9 in the morning, wherever I was, tell my mom, see you later. And he was a savage. He would take me somewhere.
I know this guy. You told me.
No.
I think I know
his
the
name
story.
was Gabilan.
No, I don't know.
Gabilan Caballero.
Wow. Cowboy.
He would pick me up. He was a Cuban guy that grew up with my dad. They played like baseball together as kids. And he baptized me. My dad died. And in the Cuban and Italian culture, when you have godparents and something happens, they automatically have to step up.
Right away.
Like your godfather has to come in and go, come on,
Right
you come
away.
and live with us.
Right.
No matter what, that's the word you give.
Yeah.
When you throw that water on, that's the word you give. We were tight till about I was 10. And then he would go to Miami. He was like a coke salesman. Whatever he was doing, he would disappear and then come back. Well, he was tight when him and my mother, when my mother died, he got tight with me. And he did check in with me for a few weeks. And then in my world and his world, we lost communication. Right. And I actually forgot about him. And in '84, when I was going through my fucking, that my mother was definitely dead now, you know, with the realization that she ain't coming back.
Terrible.
I went off the deep end.
Yeah.
And I bumped into him one day. And I'll never forget that. He goes, look at the shape of you. What happened? And I go, well, he took me to Schlessinger's. He bought me a winter jacket. Like, I mean, guys, that's how pathetic I was in '84. He bought me a winter jacket, a couple of sweaters. I didn't want that. I wanted a handout.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted $5,000 to get me straight, which I was not going to get you. I was going to use to snort coke.
Of course.
So I became friendly with him. I would go to his house and eat. He would talk to me. He never offered me a bedroom. You know, so kind of like I was getting pissed off at him. Like, he's not giving me what I'm supposed to give me. And then one day he goes, listen, if you need to make money, I got a way to help you out. Sell some ounces. And I would sell ounces, and I played them. I played them for 6 or 7 months. I played them. You know, if I told him I'd have the money Thursday, I'd have it Wednesday. And then one day I took a big chunk from him. He says, I got to leave for the weekend. You want more? And I go, you know what? Leave me the amount. Give me like 5 of those.
God.
And I went on a tear. Never paid him. But he wasn't like the regular people I had burnt before.
Yeah.
He hunted me down.
Sure.
And he hunted me down. I did it to him. The final result was October of '84. And in June of '85, I was in front of a White Castle, taking a bus with a bag, headed to Newark Airport. And he pulled up with a motorcycle. He was still looking for me.
Wow.
And he said, the next time I see you, he goes, you caught me off guard. I've been looking. And people were telling me, oh, he comes into bars all the time.
Oh, that's so fucking scary.
And he goes, the next time I see you, I'm going to put a bullet in you. And he took off. Jeez. I disappeared till '91. And in '91, I went back and went to West New York. And I had half his money.
All right.
And I went to my stepfather and I go, where's Gabby? And he goes, bro, he don't want to see you. The only thing he wants to do is put a bullet in you.
Yeah.
And then when I had a kid, the guy that baptized my kid's name was Pete Lee and Mary Lou McGuire. We don't speak anymore. But Pete pulled me aside one day and he goes, dog, I was in Fort Lee about a year ago, snorting coke with these guys,
Oh, shit.
and your name came up, and there's people looking for you.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you did in Union City and all those years, there's people fucking looking for you.
Oh, my God.
But I used to get off on that.
Ugh, that's bad.
But the biggest one I did was 85. I took this guy for everything, and he lived in West New York. So the word was out. I was in Colorado, but I was really in Cresskill, New Jersey. And I was going through the city, seeing his friends. But he was a fucking West New York guy that wouldn't leave West New York because he was such a coke dealer.
Yeah.
Ooh, and it's so funny how, I just got off on it. And then when they would, like, I owed this guy 60 fucking grand for blow.
Oh.
And I just took off in 87.
That's death money. You're going to get killed.
In 87, I just took off.
Yeah.
86. Winter of 86, because 87 was when I got arrested. 88 was when I got sentenced.
Oh, my God.
I owed this guy 60 large for coke.
How did he float you that
I
much?
owed because it was 35 a kilo.
Oh, okay. So you beat him
So
twice.
I would talk him into giving me kilos, 32 or something like that.
Right.
So I owed him for like 2. I owed his organization.
Right.
The people he dealt with, I owed close to 120,000.
Right. Yeah, terrible.
Easy. Like you, him. But you didn't know that I was getting it from
Right.
AJ, and they didn't know until one night you got together, and you're like,
yeah,
that fucking
that
Diaz.
motherfucker,
He
right.
owe you money too, that motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I found out he owns fucking the kid money. So,
Yeah.
and I'll never forget, when I got separated from my wife, I rented a car, and I drove up to Aspen. I parked the fucking car. Who the fuck did I bump into 3 minutes after I was walking? His name was Jay Fredericks. Look at that. I'll never forget his name. And he came up to me and he goes, I gave him a hug like nothing happened. Hey! I searched him for weapons when I gave him the hug.
Right.
To make sure.
Yeah.
He was with some broad. And how you doing? Where do you live now? Like nothing happened. And then he goes, hey, can I ask you a question? Whatever happened to that money? And I go,
God.
who knows, bro? Good to see you.
Oh, shit.
And I just walked away from him. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Right.
You owe me 70 grand, 60
How
grand.
do you sleep at night?
I'm going to get a fucking phone number from
like-
you. At least send me 30 and wash me off.
Do you have like extra locks on your door? Are you nervous at all?
No.
Jesus.
The only time
No.
the worst time for me was when it was 84, 85, before Gotti was Godfather. I had a guy in my guy I was giving gambling information to who was a big gambler, and he was giving me money up front to handicap his games. And then his bookie died in Nebraska. The guy was from Colorado, big stockbroker. I said, Paul, I got a guy in Queens. My cousin works for a guy in Queens. I can get you this and that. But you got to send money up front, the whole thing. He sent $5 grand up front. I set him up with Gotti's organization in Queens through my cousin. I hadn't met John yet. And I got money because I was doing something called half sheets where you bring a gambler in and whatever.
Right.
Okay, so I was doing half sheets with this guy. So I got a few dollars the first week. Paul Hicks lost. The next week he loses. The third week he loses. And now, my cousin Albert tells me, John's upset. This guy's not paying. I go, this is like the 80s. I got to call him. There's no cell phones. You got a home number and that's it. He's not picking up. And I said, finally I got him. I said, Paul, my name was Johnny Rourke back then. I said, Paul, it's Johnny. I said, listen, this is not your guy in Nebraska. These are real people in New York. No, I know, Johnny. I said, yeah, but you can't fucking skip away when you owe money. You got to pay. I promise. He said, I really want to bet this weekend. I got games I want to bet. So I talked to my cousin Albert. I said, Paul wants to bet. So John got on the phone and said, let him bet this weekend. But whatever he loses this weekend, plus what he owes, he's got to pay Monday, and that's it. I said, no problem. I told Paul the same thing. He goes, Johnny, absolutely. He bets. Like he bet like 11 games, stupid teams, like DePaul versus Creighton. Like, really? He ends up being down 30,000. But he had the money. And I go, okay. So, Paul, Monday you got, yes, Johnny, I got it. Monday comes, nothing. And the next day, Tuesday, they get a check for $500 in Queens by mail. And this is like the 80s. Gotti's out of his mind. This cocksucker. So I get a call. This is Thanksgiving morning. I'll never forget. I'm with the family. My mother didn't want me to talk to my black sheep cousin Albert because she knew he was in the mafia. AJ, it's Albert. Okay. What are you doing? Nothing, Ma. Albert, listen. your fucking guy, Paul, he sent 500. They're out of their minds. John's going to call. You can stay by the phone. John calls 10 minutes later. And those recordings you hear of Gotti, when you hear the documentaries, I got that. And he said, a bunch of things. But basically he said, you're going to go down. This fucking guy, I didn't get to become John Gotti because of cocksuckers like this fucking guy. And he said, in a business without ethics, we got to have ethics. I love that statement. It's the best. And then he goes, I'm going to send you and your cousin to Colorado, and you're not going to go fucking skiing. You're going to get my fucking money. I'm a fucking kid. I'm 22 years old. It was like, I can't go to Colorado. How do you... I never went on an airplane before. I had never even flown to Florida. I was petrified. My stomach was turning. Albert's like, AJ, you better get this guy. And all you could do was call. Then I started sending letters because that's all you could do. The letter came back. The fucking house was abandoned. Occupant, whatever they said, occupant gone. There was like a really weird statement. About a month later, well, December 14th, comes the big hit on Castellano, Spark Steakhouse, the whole thing. And Albert says, this is a whole new fucking thing. John's the boss. The guy, John, is now the boss. I'm like, oh my God. And what does this mean about me? You? He goes, I don't know. And then about a month later, he just said, all right, don't worry about it. It's over, John. It's gone.
There's nothing you can do.
No, but they let it go.
There's nothing you can do sometimes.
I know, but he ate it. He ate it. John ate it. I mean, the guy didn't get killed. He ate the bullshit, and I didn't get in trouble. But then when he went to his trial in New York, by this time I'm a journalist now for Newsday, 91, 92. I would go to see his court trials. I wanted to pay my respects. And he saw me, and I'm in an elevator with him, Sammy the Bull, Jackie the Nose, all these fucking guys. And I remember it. I put it in my book. Sammy, who I didn't really know at all, he says, John, who's this guy? Like, because I'm a guy in a two-piece suit and a journalist. And he says, no, he's all right. He's all right. And he said, yeah, but he's with them, meaning the journalists. And John says, he's more all right than them. That's the best line, more all right than them. And I went to the restaurant. I was 10 steps behind John Miller. We went to Jam Bones, which is on Mott Street, right across from the courts. I had a table next to John, and he told me, you're a good kid. You went to college. Make your mother proud. Get away from this bullshit. So it's very strange when I see him talking to his son in the fucking jailhouse thing, But to me, I was a civilian to him. I was just a kid that got mixed up, And he said to me, make your mother proud. You don't belong in this area. Boy, but then when Chico got mixed up with the mobsters and they beat the shit out of him and left him in the street for me to pick up, and I'd vouch for Chico. I got him all these jobs at nightclubs, and then I was the guy on the hook because you vouch for this fucking guy. Oh my God! When they're after you, when they manage you, I don't know how you left on the lam. That's feeling in the pit of your stomach when guys are after you.
Oh my God!
The
Tony
worst.
Bennett, real quick. And I'll go into that. Let me go real quick. I'm 55.
The worst.
There was a time I couldn't function if I wasn't in trouble.
That action, that feeling.
Trigger,
yeah.
I was a loser. That trigger.
Really.
So I didn't like there was a guy I used to when I was a kid. He owned Joe and Mary's.
Oh.
A bar.
On the Bronx.
Not
that one.
This is in North Bergen, and he was a loan shark.
Uh-huh.
And I knew he was. Somebody once told me George is a loan shark. George the Greek. He was really Italian.
Right. Isn't that great?
George was a loan shark, and he had a bartender named Lila, and we would always go in there. We were 15. And one day when I was 16, I just went up to him. I go, George, can I talk to you for a second? He just went, I go, I need to borrow $250. He goes, it's $250 for 4. It's 10 weeks or $40. Okay, and I started with that. And then I paid him the $400, and then, I upped the ups to $500.
And you're in it.
Then I upped them to $1,000.
Yeah.
I would pay him. And one day I went to him, and I'm like, I need this amount. And it just kept going. And then I would go up to him and go, AJ Benza? Yeah.
He needs this amount.
AJ needs this amount. He doesn't want to ask you. I'll vouch for him, though.
See?
And then I would go to him and go, Lee Syatt, that guy, yeah, he comes in, nice kid. He got his girlfriend pregnant. Let me get $1,000 for an abortion. I had this guy. So I would pay him from 3 or 4 different accounts. You didn't even know that I had used your name.
What did it get you high or something? To like new
Let me tell you
customers
what
have like a low interest?
The word vouch is so important.
So I would say Lee's embarrassed. Lee's
yeah,
Lee's
he
kind
can't come over here.
He's embarrassed. He doesn't want it, but he wants $1,000. Give me 14, 140 a week for
No
10 weeks.
problem, no
And
problem.
I would put you all in tab.
Oh my God.
And I was going to him. And then I got to a point I was just making up names.
Of course.
Like,
Chicha Bastich
Chicha
needs
Bastich needs
fucking, yeah,
$2,000. And I had this guy. Dog, in my head, I was paying him 8 different accounts.
Unbelievable.
Until I had him up to like 40,000. And I left.
And you left.
Oh.
But
I
Joe, but that gets you high, that feeling. Like that
At that
danger.
time.
So
At that time, that's who I was. I was a fucking creepy
Okay.
dude. So I'll never forget going back 8 months later, and I go to his bar because that's where you had to go get the pills and the coke. And I'm in the back. Every bar has a back door close to the pool where they're putting pool. And I'm knocking on the glass. Me and Stinky were knocking on the
Stinky.
glass. I just get off the plane. I already owe this guy 40 G's, and on top of that, I owed another 40 throughout, scattered. And I went, and to people who, I used to rob drug dealers, and then they were too scared to approach me. So they would go to whoever they got the drugs from and go, listen, we can't touch them. You go after them.
oh my God.
So I had a bunch of people looking for me for that. But the funniest thing was George, when I knocked on the glass, and I'll never forget, Ray Tabasco looked at me.
Ray
He
Tabasco.
looked at me and goes, what's up? I go, is George in there? He goes, what? I go, is George in there? And all of a sudden I hear, no. George is up here. And I go, hey, George, how you doing? He had his, because he lived on top of the bar. He goes, how you doing? He goes, how am I doing? Where the fuck have you been? I go, come on. George, I had to go on vacation, but I got your money. Come on down. He goes, I'll be right down. Dog, he didn't put his head through
Gone.
the window.
You were gone.
Me and Stinky got in that car and fucking ran the fuck out of there.
Oh my God.
We had loan sharks that we were borrowing from. Let me tell you how good of a loan shark he was.
I'm listening.
In 79, my mother dies. And hey, I don't know what the statute of limitations is, but a story is a story. So you can all suck my dick.
Should I look it up before you say it?
You gotta
Don't
prove
worry,
it.
you got 7 years.
You
You're
gotta
fine.
prove it.
You're fine.
7 years
When I'm a
old.
kid,
You just
my
saying it.
mother dies. This is one of the greatest things I ever.
89?
My mother
88?
dies in 79.
Oh, 79.
I got a job at a lumber yard. Okay. The lumber yard is owned on paper by a
I
white
know.
dude,
I know
6'6",
this story.
nice guy. But in real life, this thing is owned by a bunch of different people. And at the end, and they would give me boxes. Every week, one of my jobs is to get a box and to go to the post office and put mail into just bills and
Right.
in those days it wasn't computer bills.
No, you just threw it in.
You got all
Yeah.
your bills in the mail. So if you were building a house, if you were a plumber, you got a bill from us.
Yeah.
And I go to throw, a bunch of letters fell on the floor because I was, fuck the post office. I just walked to the corner. I'm going to go to the post office.
Yeah.
There's a fucking box.
Put them in the box right there.
Put them in the box, and a card falls out. And when I go to pick it up, I hear,
Oh.
and I go, and
Nice.
I fold it up, I put it in my pocket.
You're the worst.
I'm living with the
You're the
Benders,
worst.
and I go home, and in there's 2 credit cards,
Nice.
a big-time credit card, and one for gas.
Oh, sure.
buy
The
gas.
gas cards, the mobile cards.
And
yeah,
there was
big.
2 checks in there. I'm not going to tell you the amounts.
Okay.
And I took the cards. I didn't know what to do with the cards or the amount. And I went to a friend of mine whose brother was half connected at the time. He was a little older. He had just got out of college, the guy. But I knew he ran in weird circles. In fact, anyway, I meet him and I tell my buddy, I go, I got these credit cards, I got these checks.
Shit.
And next thing you know,
Let's go.
I gotta show you guys something before you leave. Next thing you know, he goes, my brother wants to see you. I'm like, okay. He comes up to me. I give him the 2 checks. I give him 1 check is significant, and the other check is half of that,
Right.
but not bad.
Right.
And I show him the mobile card or the American Express card. He looks me in the face. He goes, I'm going to give you $1,000 for the American Express.
Nice.
He goes, the gas card, depending on the limit, I'll give you $1,000. Because these are Italians. Everybody in the family bought tires.
They all yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Nobody's
had
going
those
to lose.
cards.
They're
I've
going
had those
to
cards.
all buy tires.
No, we
They're
all
not going
go
to
at
buy
the same
gas.
time.
They're not going to buy gas.
It's
They're going to buy
fantastic.
fucking tires.
Yeah.
And they would buy tires and shit with it. And then the next day he called me. He goes, I got your cash for the checks. I go, how did you cash those checks? He goes, that's my business. It was the year John Lennon got shot. It was that week.
What's that, 80, 81?
81.
81,
Bro, he
yeah.
laid, it was 20 grand plus
Oh, my God.
in 20s. And I put it in my drawer, and it was like my own little ATM machine.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I would fucking pop that motherfucker. And then I was telling these guys the other night, about 82 when the first ATM machine got put on my block.
Oh.
And from 9 to 3, if you wanted $20, the 20 would come out. But if you went in there at midnight, in those days you had to put your card outside, the door would open.
Yes.
And you walked in. It was on 70th and Bergen Line Avenue. Dog, do you know that machine used to spit out 20s at me?
No.
Instead of 200, instead of 20, it would give me 200. Oh. And I did this for months.
You can't leave.
For months.
You can't leave
I would take my buddies and I'd tell Lee,
watch this.
We're going to go on to a gas station. I remember one guy made him duck the whole time. He was ducking in the back seat. What about the cameras? Don't worry about the cameras. We robbed this ATM machine. Do you know one day the Fed showed up in my house, bro?
Oh.
And they were like, dog, you owe us like $6,000. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
I don't have that, yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about, $6,000?
No comprende, no comprende.
I went there and got money out of the machine. They're like, well, every time you go, the machine is always light at night.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, I had tons of friends. And then, let me tell you something. I had a friend before the 8. Let me tell you how much technology has grown for you young kids at home to know.
Oh, God.
I had a friend that was a genius. He's still alive, knock on wood, he's still a fucking genius.
Yeah.
When it came to making money the old-fashioned way, he was a genius.
Yeah.
Today he has a house down the shore. He's retired.
I know.
One of his biggest scams was going to college.
How do you mean?
Going to college, he would take every loan available to him. And what he would do is he would open up $2,000 bank accounts in every line of bank. So Chase,
right?
I don't know who it was in those days. So whatever names I'm saying,
manufacturers,
Bank of America. He would open. He would put 2,005 bank accounts.
Right.
He would leave it in there for 6 months, and then he would take a $2,000 loan in each of those bank accounts.
Nice.
On the bank. So he would go, I want to borrow $2,000 on the $2,000 I got in there. Why? I do not know.
You got $10,000 now.
So he would make a bunch of payments, like 2 or 3 payments.
Right.
And then he would pick one every week under different aliases. So he would go to Chase on Friday at 5 to 3 and close his account. And then he had a predetermined route to a Chase in Brooklyn, who the computer system was too slow.
Oh, my God.
He would go to Chase and close the account that he had with Chase in Manhattan. So he would keep closing the account. So then he would go to Suffolk. So if the bank was open till 5, whatever account he would close at 5 after 3. This is in 82, guys.
Wow.
83.
Yeah.
So he was doubling his money. I mean, it was just amazing how slow the process was in between computers.
Wow.
So if you went to so today, personally speaking here, I would close my account at downtown.
Right.
And then run to Sherman Oaks.
Jesus
Close
Christ.
my account there, then run to Woodland Hills.
Take you half an hour.
And close my account there. Yeah.
Takes you forever.
But they wouldn't catch on till Monday.
Yeah. I see. If on a Friday you do it, they don't catch on till Monday.
Then what happens on Monday?
Nothing. You're a fucking ghost.
You're done. You're gone.
You got your money.
You got it.
He would take 10. He would make $50,000.
Right.
Fuck.
This is how crazy life was. But to get to something else, and they call these people rats, but they're not rats.
No.
When I was a kid, everybody know. Like when you read a mob book, Peter Mass. Let's say that's his name, right?
Great
Peter
writer.
Mass.
Yeah.
He wrote a couple of books.
Sure.
Where does he get his information from? Do you think he gets his information from the air?
Oh, you talk to a lot of guys. You make friends with everybody. Guys. People love to talk. I told you.
And you make sources with certain sources and stuff like that. When you're telling stories, that doesn't make you a rat. Like, I had a cop growing up that I became friends with. And he would shoot me little things.
Yeah.
And I would shoot him little things.
Right.
He would tell me these guys are going to have a kilo at their house. Rob them.
Yeah.
What do I care?
Yeah.
And I would rob them.
Yeah,
and
that's good.
If somebody was breaking my balls,
right.
Like if I would rob Lee and I heard Lee threaten me, I would put him on Lee.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Listen, every Friday at 6, Lee delivers a kilo of coke to AJ Benza. Pull him over.
Yeah, cut the way. Listen,
Pull him over. And don't arrest him.
When I was
Take it from him.
when I worked
Shake
for
him
the
down.
news,
Make him lose the 20.
in 97, I beat the shit out of a cab driver bad. I beat him bad. I mean, broke his cheekbone, his leg. It was horrible. I destroyed him in the street, 5th Avenue and 40th Street.
Why?
I was with my girlfriend, and we were late to get her kid out of kindergarten, and this cab came by, and I put my hand up, and he had the light on. He didn't stop. Just happened like that. He didn't stop. Pissed me off. And I had a black girlfriend, right? Same girl Trump was dating. but this is when I was dating her. Beautiful black girl. I felt like the guy didn't like that I was with this beautiful black girl. That was in my head. He doesn't like that I'm with this beautiful model, black model. He was a fucking like a Haitian. Boom, he passes me, and I give him the finger. He gives me the finger back, and then he stops at a red light. So I run to the red light. She goes, "Don't do it." I said, "No, fuck this guy." I get to the red light. "What's your problem?" No, he starts cursing, whatever the fuck, and he spits at me, and he hits me in the head with a spit. So I clock him through the window's down. I knock him in the fucking face, and then he goes down on the receipt to get something. So I open the door, and I fucking destroyed him. I lay him out in the front seat, just right, just destroying him. So many times that people grabbed me off of him because it was commuting time. It was 5 o'clock. Guys are going, "Get off him! Are you fucking crazy? You're gonna kill him!" I was out of my mind. My girlfriend's screaming. He comes out of it, and I'm shutting the door, and the door keeps bouncing open. I'm banging the door, boom, bang, boom, and I go, "What the fuck?" His leg was hanging out of the car, so I broke his shin because I kept slamming like a Pesci move. That's when the doors. Anyhow, after all that, the guy gets out of the car like the fucking Walking Dead. And he's limping at me. And I go, "What is this guy doing?" And he looked like one of those guys that Jake LaMotta fought in Raging Bull who had nothing left. He throws a looping fucking, I duck under and I smash him out like a light, knocked out, and everybody's screaming. I just sat down next to him. I told my girlfriend, go get Nick from school. I'm staying here. Cops come. They knew who I was. AJ, the winner goes to jail. Loser goes to the hospital. You're going to jail. So I was in there jail for the night. Anyhow, I called my detective friend who I would always talk to as a journalist. He gave me information. I said, "Dave, this fucking guy, he's a Haitian. He's a fucking immigrant. Look into this guy. He couldn't speak English. We got it. Don't worry about it." And they go, "By the time we get to him, he isn't going to fucking charge. He isn't going to come after you. It's going to go away." So they go after him, and they worked him over. I mean, they did. They told me, "No, we worked him over. He's illegal. He ain't going to say shit. Don't worry." I said, "Great. Thank you." A week later, Dave, my detective, Dave Odermatt, who worked at Midtown North, him and about 5 other cops got busted because there was a whorehouse nearby that all the cops would visit and get blowjobs, and they let the whorehouse operate. There was a sting operation. All the cops who did it got fucking thrown off the force. They lost their pension. So my guy was one of the guys that got thrown off. "AJ, I can't help you." I said, "You gotta be kidding me." The fucking Haitian's lawyer heard that. He marched the Haitian into court with the fucking walker and the cane and the eye patch and everything. And I fucking was guilty. And then I pled out. And then I got sued from the civil trial. They sued me for $10 million. We settled on $80,000. Paid this fucking asshole $80,000. The point was, I had a cop like that. Like, that happens. You got friends in high
Let me ask you
places.
something. While you're giving out beatings, are you friends with John Menendez now?
Sure. Yeah. Actually, I let him smack me back. I had one of those podcasts 2 years ago. I said, "Smack me back on the air." "No." I said, "Yeah, just do it. Get even." "Yeah, we're friends. We're fine." That was just a fucking, what was that, 2000? I think it was 2000 when I smacked him. It was a crazy, the
Drugs
Howard
are
Stern.
involved, dog.
I was never straight when I was in Howard Stern. Very rarely was
about
I.
your book.
Sure,
That's why I wanted to read it, and I want to get it to read. I gotta go.
No, this book, 74 and Sunny, is from when I was a kid.
Right.
The
I want to
first
read
book
that.
I was out of my mind.
What was the first book?
Fame Ain't a Bitch.
That's the one that tells about the pills and the fucking.
Yeah, I was out of my mind.
That you were writing on pills.
Out of my
and
mind. I
shit.
was out of my mind. I was a fucking rock star gossip columnist. Yeah, I was fucking nuts.
Now, when you were a gossip columnist, let's forget about the journalist. When you were a gossip columnist, did you have a bartender that called you and said, "I got some information"?
Sure, but I didn't. Yeah, I did, but I didn't need that. I was wired all over. Yes,
you
of
get
course
like a
I
gram
did.
of blow or something. Like
I didn't do blow in the city. That was not my thing. My thing was I was a pain pill guy. I drank and took pain pills. I never did cocaine in New York City when I was a journalist ever. I mean ever. When I came to LA, I was like, "Oh, cocaine is a currency out here. If I get a girl at a nightclub and she wants to go back to my house, she asks me if I got blow. I never had blow. I said, I guess I got to get some blow. Like I need scotch or vodka or fucking club soda. You need cocaine at your house too. I never did coke in New York, ever. I was to tell my friends, if there's coke at this fucking party, I'm not taking my nephew. I was against it. But pills, sure. Pills and liquor. That was my thing.
So now, with your podcast, are you still doing it? It's more gossip sometimes?
You know what, Joey? I riff on, I'm no different than a comic, I swear to God. You riff on things, you riff on what's ever happening in the world, whether it's Trump or fucking Hollywood, whatever you riff on. I look at what's happening in mainly in Hollywood. and I go, how can I connect myself to that story? Can I get personal with that story? Yeah, I know Sean Penn. Yeah, I hung out with so and so. So my show is a lot about, yes, it's gossip, but I break stories because I still have connections to a lot of people, and a lot of my show is about my personal stories about the people I talk about. So if I'm breaking a story about, I don't know, like whatever's happening in the news, I can go, oh, I can make this funny. Like, for instance, Omarosa's talking about Trump being a racist. So for Monday's show, I'm going to talk about, or today's show, I'm going to talk about, I'm the only person in the fucking country who can tell you Trump's not a racist because we used to date the same black girl, and I know how much he loved her family and all this. You could say what you want about Trump. He might have said the N-word, like I've said the N-word. Doesn't mean he's racist. Just calm the fuck down. You know, no one else is qualified to tell that story but me. So I'll tell that story, and I'll give Omarosa shit, and I'll tell my story about the girl we dated, blah, blah, blah. So there's always something that comes up. Bethany Frankel's boyfriend, Dennis Shields, OD. I know the Real Housewife people. I can talk on that.
Well, I remember when I called you the one day, you were telling me about the purse check that
what
the
chick?
day she committed suicide because her boyfriend was gay.
I dated
Her husband was gay.
the playmate who threw a kid out the window? Which one are you talking about? Because that was my girlfriend for a while, too.
No.
Whose
Listen,
husband
if
was
I
gay?
dated a playmate that threw a
Wait,
kid
whose
out the
husband
window,
was
I
gay?
wouldn't talk to that
That was
bitch.
I dated her.
What's
I think we're
Stephanie
talking about
Adams.
Kate Spade. I
Kate
didn't
Spade.
know her
I
husband
talk-
was gay.
okay.
You broke that.
I
about
broke.
Kate
No one
Spade.
cares. No one cares. The guy's a fag. No one cares. I said, I got a feeling this guy's gay. So I put the word out with some cops in the city because I still got connections. I said, do me a favor. You know, okay, she hung herself, whatever, but I got a feeling this guy's gay. Detectives call me back 3 days later. You know, you're right. He has a lover. And when cops want to rule out everything. So detectives looked at everything. They got surveillance tape on different buildings, and this guy's keeps coming to this building with this guy, and they're leaving holding hands. They're leaving with his arm around the other guy's waist. And we took him in a room and we talked about his lifestyle. And he goes, I don't want that getting out. And I went on the podcast and said, I was right. Spade is gay. I fucking knew it. I don't know if that's why she killed herself, but I'm sure that's a contributing factor to not being happily married to a man who has a male lover. And when she left a note that said, ask daddy to her daughter, that's a little fucking weird.
That's crazy.
Like, ask your father why I'm miserable, or whatever. So I thought that was a good angle to the story. Nobody in the mainstream media writes that he's gay. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Okay, don't write it. I think it's fascinating that they don't care. The mainstream media is terrible now. All they care about is how bad Trump is. They don't give a fuck about stories that are everywhere. That I don't know why they're dropping the ball on everything. They just want to talk about how bad Trump is and how bad America's doing. It's fucking gross. There's so many great stories out there.
Going back to that police thing, it's so weird. Even when fucking people fuck with me, I got a cop I call now. Like the cop that helped me find my daughter, the cop because I have a daughter.
Sure.
I hired this private investigator now for $100. He's like, anytime you have a problem, just
That's
PayPal me.
That's it.
And a couple of weeks ago, some fucking idiot said something to me, and I PayPal the guy a yardstick. And I get everything: license numbers,
right?
Fucking license plate numbers. Mm-hmm. I get everything, dog. Where your parents live, I get everything.
Yeah,
that's real fucking chamber torture because that's how I grew up.
Yeah,
that's how I was raised. You just don't go for the weapons; you go for the fucking head. I'm going for everything. Yeah. You're gonna fuck with me.
Take him out. Take him out.
I'm gonna go for everything. So it's so weird how I used cops.
I love cops. You know who brought me into the fold? Bo Dietl brought me into.
Bo Dietl's coming on the podcast.
Okay.
He's coming on. He's going
to come here?
Yeah. So we'll get him. We'll
that day he's here, call me. I want to just say hello. I don't have to be on. I just
come on over. He's doing a book.
I love Bo.
Because I think he's in a movie that's coming out.
Yeah.
He's in something in December.
We did a TV pilot together for a movie called The Neighborhood, which I don't think it's going to get picked up, but Bo's in that. No, but Bo.
Oh, that's the one you did with Nick
Totoro and all that. I don't. Who knows? It's
Who's
good.
the network?
Dude, listen, it's good enough
to pick it up.
We shot 2 episodes. I swear to God, this is good enough to go on a network. I don't mean ABC, CBS, Hulu, fucking TBS. It's absolutely good enough. It is. I'm waiting to hear. Anyhow, fucking Jimmy Russo, Paul Ben Victor, Nick Totoro. It's way good enough. It is. Anyhow, we'll find out.
What days do you put your podcast out?
I'm on now with I'm on Patreon now, so I'm every day. I do a fucking show every day now. And I, on top of show every day, I also do, the 3 free shows are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But my Patreon people get a show every day, every morning. I also put out chapters of my untitled book that I'm writing now. I also get.
See, that's why I like what you do, and that's why I like. It's
a lot of work.
I don't
I'm happy
like
to do it.
Patreon at all. At no level, especially me, because I started out for free. So
I do too.
Can't switch the game. I hate the advertisers.
I'm switching it.
I hate the advertisers, but I'd rather not. I don't want a gun to my head. I'm not. If I was a journalist.
Well, I don't know. But you got a terrific following.
No, the following.
You've got
is great.
years of this behind
But if I was a journalist, like if I wrote well or took pictures well, or even was willing to tape more of my shit when I'm out, I would have some type of Patreon.
Well, you should. It's worth money. It's worth money.
But I don't have the time.
Listen, that's great. All I do is I mostly record from my home, or I go to a studio. And I give people my daily show is only 15 minutes, but the 3 weeklies are 45 minutes. But then I give them, the Patreon people get an untitled, a chapter from my untitled book, which is like a 30-minute read. They also get classic Hollywood scandals. I did one on Fatty Arbuckle. I did one on Sinatra. I give them a lot. So right now it's just starting. It's a good start. We got a lot of people that have joined up.
You still write every day. You
I write every show.
I'm getting addicted now.
I write every show.
I'm even thinking of taking a journalism course.
I wanted to tell you that I wanted to call you and go, you're writing your book. Please, I don't mean let me help you write, but let me give you an idea how to start each chapter, because I know exactly how you think. And the way you tell stories is so great that I can make your storytelling ability fucking jump on a page. Instead of, I know how you are. I know how you think. How do I tell this story about Chicha Bastille? I know. It's like so many different things coming at you. All you do is you pick a time. You say, if it started at a nightclub, you just say something as simple as, the Laugh Factory on a Friday, 8 o'clock, usually looks like this. There's so-and-so in a corner. This one's doing this, this, and that. There's this happening at this hour. On this particular night, boom, this happened. Then get into your story. I think there's easier ways for you.
No, I'm learning.
Just easier.
Listen, man, I'm learning something that
writing is great.
I did not know. I didn't have the respect I had.
It's hard though.
I thought it was like stand up. When I got into stand up, when I got into stand up, I thought those guys just shut up and got a microphone. And somebody was there with a camera. And that stuff was fresh. I didn't know that you worked out. I didn't know that you had to get on stage. Same thing happened to me with writing. I thought that you could just write how I tell a story. And then I read it and it's fucking pure trash. And I got to start. You know how many books I've written already? I've written
sure.
92 books.
I know.
Now, let me tell you, this last 3 months have been the best 3-month writing.
I could tell because you haven't said anything bad about it. You were agonizing over it for a while.
I remember. I was in debt.
I listened to you
from last November.
I know.
Till June 4th.
I remember.
I lived in a personal hell.
I heard you.
And it was 2 weeks after that. It was my head. My stomach was bothering me. My confidence was down. I was just in the pits. And most people go see a psychiatrist. I didn't. I knew something was wrong, and I got a new notebook.
Right.
And I wrote in there
just
every fucking
man.
day. I just kept writing it, and I saw what was coming out. It wasn't good. It was just coming out, and it was lack of confidence. Somewhere along the line, I lost my bravado. And there was 2 things that happened. I shot the special. I saw Eric Roach.
You told me. You called me. You didn't like this happen. This happened.
I saw Whitney Cummings on stage. And then that dumb fuck said something to me online.
Oh, you told me.
Dumb fuck said something to me online. That fucking mule.
Yeah.
I said, this is because I showed weakness somewhere.
Right.
The weakness is done.
Don't get rid of that.
I'm not going to these places. I went to the Improv the other night just out of... because he's a good friend of mine. He's a great kid, and Arsenio fell out. And he always throws me a couple yardsticks, and he puts on great shows.
Right.
What's his name? Brian Monarch. I love him to death. But I'm a Comedy Store guy from now on. If you want to be a Green Beret, you got to hang out with Green Berets.
That's good.
That's it. If you want to be a Green Beret, you got to hang out with Green Berets.
Right.
You know, I was dicking around and trying to hang out at different clubs.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Good.
For me to get that energy back, who the fuck I was. Like right now, usually I have a spot.
Yeah.
And I'm nervous. I'm not nervous no more. I don't give a fuck.
That's it.
Either they're going to like it or they're not.
Fuck them.
I'm going to give them the best 20 minutes of my life, and I'm going to get in my car and go home and smoke a joint like I do every fucking night.
You know what? I when I first did the podcast, and then about 2 weeks ago we started Patreon, which is okay. You're writing every day, you're giving the show every day, and I don't just turn the mic on and just, I see what people do. People fucking have a newspaper or the terminal, the laptop's open, and they read a story and they give their spin on it. I won't do that to my people. I don't. I will say, I want to write about this story. How can I put myself in this story? Who do I know in this angle? And I'll write. And when I do a podcast, each podcast is generally 12 pages on a laptop. That's not easy to do. 12 pages is half a chapter of a book. So in a week to do all my shows, I just don't show up and talking. I could do it. I could fumble and say, but when you hear my podcast, you'll never hear me go, what do you call it? I don't want to do it like that, because a lot of people know me as the guy on TV that's scripted, that says things the way he says things. So I want to satisfy them. I want to tell them a nice story. I want to, I just want to come across like, oh, it's crisp, it's good.
Listen, I want whatever you charge. I want my value for it.
It's $5. People fucking throw it away on coffee every week.
You're an old school American.
Yeah,
you give them $5 worth of value a month.
Old school.
And that's it. It's a quarter a month.
Yeah.
Remember we used to pay for a paper?
Yeah.
It's a quarter a month.
Right.
You pay for a paper. You ever go to the airport and get a New York Post at the LAX?
Oh, I love it.
It's $5.
I never buy it. I steal it.
I
steal everything at airports. I don't buy nothing at airports. Nothing. Even earplugs.
Fucking waters.
These are from fucking Fort Lauderdale Airport. No, Miami. I went to Versailles. I got a couple empanadas, and I took these with the fucking... I wouldn't buy those shits. But you know what? The people who listen to my show, and the same thing as your audience, they get you pumped, they get you hyped. You can't let them down. So now I'm in contact with my audience every day with the app, and we're talking all day. I can't let them down, And when they tell you, do this, you go, whatever's going on in my life, I can't let those, how many people down. I gotta make them happy. So I love it. Whenever you're feeling lazy, or you want to just, I got people who want to hear good shit. So I love it. It's the best. It's like getting my column back, Joe. It's like I have my column.
No, you do have your. I told you that.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Only you control it. No boss now.
No
Nobody
editor.
who said you can't. You cannot put that in there. I know him. You cannot put that in there.
Can't.
This is what's the beauty about
It's perfect.
What's the name of the show?
Fame is a Bitch, right here on the shirt.
Fame is a Bitch.
That's it.
Comes out Monday.
Well, the free shows are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Patreon, it's every day. You got to go to the Patreon app and get me. But start free if you want. No, it's all right. Ease into the motherfucker. It's fine. I don't care.
I love you, brother.
I love you too, man.
I love that you're close by. I love
right
that,
around the corner.
We get to fucking shoot the shit every couple of months.
I love it.
All right, like I told you in the beginning of the show, Blue Apron is the way to go, okay? They deliver farm-fresh ingredients and step-by-step recipes right to your door. Their mission is to make incredible home cooking accessible to everybody, okay? Blue Apron achieves this by supporting a more sustainable food system, setting the highest standards for the ingredients, and building a community of home chefs, okay? Lee loves it. Lee goes crazy over it. Look at this week's menu. You got cheeseburgers with spicy slaw. Are you nuts or what? And Syatt chicken with tangy barbecue sauce. I mean, my mouth is watering as we speak, all right? They're quick and easy recipe options. Listen, there's seasonally inspired ingredients, mouth-watering grilling options for the summer. Like I said, chicken with barbecue sauce and juicy cheeseburgers with spicy slaw. Where are you going to get that at? These are chef-designed recipes and exciting partnerships like with Bob's Burgers and MasterChef. So again, check out this week's menu. Go ahead, do yourself a favor, and you're going to get the first 3 meals for free at blueapron.com/Joey. Again, that's blueapron.com/Joey. Get your first 3 meals free. Blue Apron is a better way to cook, believe it or not. And they give you the recipe, and you learn how to cook, and now you can impress your friends, all right? So go to Blue Apron, and that's all I got to tell you. All right, like I told you in the beginning of the show, hiring is a challenge. But there's one place you can go where hiring is simple, fast, and smart. A place where growing businesses connect to qualified candidates. That place is ZipRecruiter.com/church. Again, hiring used to be hard. Multiple job sites, stacks of resumes, a confusing review process. I can't even think about it. But today, hiring can be easy, and only you have the one place to get it done, and that's ZipRecruiter.com/church. And you're like, Joey, why? I'll tell you why. Because they send you job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards. They just don't stop there. With a powerful matching technology, ZipRecruiter scans thousands of resumes to find the people with the right experience and invite them to apply for your job. As applications come in, ZipRecruiter analyzes each one and spotlights the top candidates so you never miss a great match. So ZipRecruiter is so effective that 80% of its employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within 1 day. And time is money. You got a small business, you got a little business, a big business, ZipRecruiter is the way to go. With results like that, it's no wonder ZipRecruiter is the highest rated hiring site in America. So right now, stop playing games. You're looking for that employee for the holiday season, maybe to kick in 2019. My family, the church family, you get ZipRecruiter for free. What are you saying, Joey? Free at this exclusive web address. You ready? Grab a pen and write it down. ZipRecruiter.com/church. It's that easy. ZipRecruiter.com/church. CHURCH. ZipRecruiter.com/church. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Don't forget, motherfuckers, Thursday night, Huntsville, Alabama. That motherfuckers, those tickets are gone. There was like 300 tickets, so there's like 30 left. So don't fuck around. And then Friday and Saturday, I'll see you cocksuckers in Nashville, all right? Don't forget, we do this every Monday morning to get you fucking started and pumped. Don't take shit from nobody today. You understand me? Stay black. Have a great fucking day. And I'll see you guys Wednesday morning. Stay black. Love you. Kick that fucking mule, Lee.